Summer. It comes every year, and always brings with it shouts of, "Why aren't you playing outside like a normal kid?" Because outside is overrated. It's literally the oldest thing in the world. In the millennia modern man has been putzing around this earth, we've invented countless distractions to distract ourselves from the fact that there's ticks and bees and wolves and sunspots and people who listen to Foreigner unironically out there. Out there is not a place I should be. And so I resolved to spend this summer, and in fact this Super Famicom Friday, safe and sound and playing Final Fantasy V. Because Final Fantasy V is summer. And this, it should be mentioned, is the first, and for a long time only, release of Final Fantasy V. Legend has it that Square thought the whole job system would make Western heads explode from Kilkenny to Kennebunkport, and shelved the whole thing, instead choosing to give us 4 and 6 and call them 2 and 3 because, hey, it was the 90s. People listened to Ace of Base, unironically. That's the kind of time it was. A time before using L and R buttons to switch between characters on an equipment screen. I could spend almost the entire review just going over what this game lacks compared to its contemporaries, but honestly, I did all of that in talking about all the improvements Final Fantasy V Advance made. This isn't advanced, this is pretty devanced, but it's still one of the greatest RPGs ever. First off, and in stark contrast to many other titles both in its series and in the general time frame, it doesn't take itself seriously. You got a goofball protagonist who only really suffers angst when, his hometown is sucked into an extra-dimensional void. Until then, his interests are chilling with between 1 to 3 princesses at a time, cruising on his sex machine Chocobo Boko, and dabbling in job after job to turn himself into the ultimate killing machine. Okay, so you're the one who does that for him. Point is, Final Fantasy V represents an important tweak to the job mechanics that Final Fantasy III pioneered, in that you now have an open slot. That's right, you can actually mix and match your skills. That's why the job system is so beloved. You want a red mage who also dabbles in blue magic? Make it. You want a chemist who picks pockets in his spare time? Make it. You want a Corsair samurai with a Pluto staff for Sagon and spamming Leaden salute? Make it in Final Fantasy XI. Close enough. Let me take just a moment, too, to bring up V's greatest contribution to the series as a whole. Blue Mages, or how to cheat at Final Fantasy by trying a lot. The entire Blue Magic spell list is just a mass of utility powers and ultra-situational skills, which can go the entire game without being used, but just completely wipe a boss battle off the face of the earth because the numbers just happen to align a certain way. The more attention you pay to the game, the more you learn, the more you understand these tricks and can blow through parts of the game fast. Too fast. Too fast to, survive Titan's parting attack. Unless you know to go back to the mountain where Lena constantly poisons herself, control this flying cat thing, make it float the party, and then leave and head back. Ridiculous? Yes. And that's why we love it. There's a trick to absolutely everything in this game, and you're rewarded handsomely for learning them. The sprite art on the overworld hasn't expanded to Final Fantasy VI's standard of 2-tile sprites yet, but there's still plenty of character packed into these pixels. Really, the most frustrating parts of the visual presentation are the menus, both for control and quality of life issues. The rest of the art, from the enemies to the customized job sprites for each character in your party, are well handled, if a bit grainy on today's larger displays. The music, on the other hand, well, it all boils down to one piece, and you know what piece I'm talking about. Behold Final Fantasy V, the true champion of summer, winner of dollars, distributor of berserkers. The RPG that answers the question, what level is this boss anyway? With a resounding 20. You know what that means.